Shout out to our boy House Phone because
Yeah, man.
anyone who's paid attention to Instagram over the last week or so has probably seen that his mother passed away, and everybody here would just like to send a huge, huge shout out to him and massive condolences to her. Obviously, she meant a shitload to him throughout his life. I don't know where exactly his headspace is at right now. He hit me up like 2 hours. Well, he actually only told me that he wasn't coming because I told him to watch a video, but he's definitely probably going through it. So I wouldn't want him to be on camera anyway if he's feeling like shit. So much love to House Phone.
Let House Phone take as much time as he needs, man.
Yeah,
get his mental health right. He got a lot of stuff going on right now.
I noticed a lot of people on the unnamed internet forum feeling bad because they were talking so much shit to him about not showing up and everything, and then this happens and they kind of realize like, oh, he actually was dealing with real life shit
the whole time though.
Yeah.
Prayers go up to House Phone, man. Love you, bro.
Yeah.
Shout out House Phone.
Much love, Doug, for real.
That shit sucks, man.
Yeah, I guess we'll just talk about this a little bit more, but I feel bad for him because he's got to watch the whole world just keep on spinning. Even I felt bad like a day or two later where we're just talking about some other random ass shit. Josh, point the fucking mouse away from your mic if you're going to be whispering. But, he's just like dealing with having to see everything just keep going on. And it's like, even though we are saying RIP and shit, I mean, just imagine the pain that he's dealing with, bro. Because I'm gonna be real with you, that's like my biggest fear in life is just losing my mom.
You know what?
And
When he said that in a group chat, I'm like, the world should stop.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I'm like, we should just have respect. It should be like a 24-hour rule. Like, don't even fucking text in this group chat. He shouldn't even be getting no notifications. Niggas is laughing, joking, sending memes after that.
For real, right?
And it's kind of almost like disrespectful. I didn't say shit. I'm like, I'm not saying shit. After he said that, I'm like, I'm not saying shit, nigga. To the next day, I just almost feel fucked up and just disrespectful to even say something or send a link or anything, because it's like, oh, my mom died, and then somebody will send a link and be like, oh, ha ha ha, like, nah, nigga, it's not funny. Like,
look
the
what
world,
Wax said.
like, the world stops. You feel me? Yeah, like I
it's on some funny shit, like
like I don't know.
But at the same time, it's like, well, you don't want to kick him out the group chat. That's fucked up.
No.
But you also it's like at a certain point, you gotta just start talking again and everything. But it's like I really want to. I don't know. I just feel for him so much because I know that shit must weigh on him.
Hit him up.
But he also made it. He made it like, okay. He said that, and then right after, he was the first one to send like something funny and say LOL. So that was just like, you motherfuckers keep going. This is my life. Don't worry about it. But still,
usually when people do that, they're trying to get their mind off of it, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you lost anybody, like it's harder to sit there and think you don't want to think about.
But all right, I'm gonna be real with you. All of us have lost people who were super close to us, and we've been back to normal by the end of the day, maybe the next day. And not saying normal, but we were joking around. We were, you go an hour or two not thinking about it because let's be real, we're all kind of toughened up to the reality of this shit, but it's something that's just like infinitely different about your mom. This is the first person you knew. Your connection to her is not like the connection you have with any other human being on earth. You grew up inside her. Like you were formed inside her. She was there for you. Like even seeing my kid with Lena, I mean, she says mama fucking 4,000 times a day. It's like her sole thing. Anytime anything happens, she smacks her foot on the counter, it's mama. She wants to see her mom. And so like, I mean, I guess that's, the explanation for why I'm so terrified of it and why it's rocking his world so bad is just having to deal with this kind of shit.
When I lost my grandma, I was fucked up for like at least 3 to 4 years. Like,
really?
I was like dark place, bro.
How old were you?
2015. So that was shit, nigga. What was that? I was 25, 26.
I'm gonna be real with you. Yeah. I lost both my grandmas like when I was in junior high, and I loved them. We were close. We spent a lot of time together. But it's way different when somebody dies and they're 80. Like my grandmothers were like 80. His mom, it's a different situation, honestly, than if my mom were to pass too, because my mom's like 20 years older than her. Like, like she passed away real young. I don't know. I mean, I just hope that like he's able to like eventually, obviously this is not like what you're thinking about right after, but I hope that he's able to turn it into something that is positive for him overall and like forces him to kind of take his everything more serious, rather than because I know that he does have it in him to be sad about some shit and then turn that into partying and turn that into fucking up.
He
you
ain't,
know?
he ain't gonna do that. I think that House Phone gonna use that fuel. He know what his mom, you know what I'm saying, wanted him to do. He gonna do dope shit with it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I tell him. Is like, you know, live for your mom now. You know what I mean? Do the shit that she would want you to do. Don't ain't nothing else more important than that. You know what I'm saying?
think he'd be better. I think he'd be stronger, and he was already prepared for this shit.
Yeah.
He was watching it happen,
and see,
so
that's-
you know, be preparing for this shit. This is not like something like sudden happened. Like,
That's the ugly.
he was watching it.
That's the ugly part about it. And just like, bro, even with me, bro, I lived with my grandma my whole life. You feel me? I watched her battle cancer, beat it, and do it again. And I watched the negative side of it, like embarrassing shit. Like my granny used to wake me up to like, you know what I'm saying? She would poop on herself. You know what I mean? And I would have to help her clean that. And it got to the point to where she was so embarrassed. Like by the time it got to the point that she was gonna die, she damn near wanted to die. She stopped eating. Jeez. You know what I mean? You watch people's health just wither away. You know what I mean? And you get used to it every fucking day. And yeah, by the time it come, you were prepared for it, but the shit still don't feel better. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that got me closer to my mom. And now I can't even imagine losing my mom. So I can't even imagine what House Phone is going through right now. You know what I mean? I just feel everybody should uplift him. You know what I'm saying? Send him, everybody that's watching right now, send my boy some encouraging words. You know what I'm saying?
Cop some high rollers.
Cop some hot, whatever you got to do. Let's all make sure House Phone is on the right path, because it can easily go the other way. He could spot right out of control.
If you see him in the club, don't be giving him a bump or none.
Nah.
Just give him a hug.
Don't
fist bump. Different type of bump.
Don't do none of that shit, man.
And
Not even a fist bump?
Yeah. No, not that.
Right now, too, that's crazy that you said that, because, you know, Heather uncle just died from cancer. So, you know, prayers up to Uncle Phil. You feel me? Shout out Uncle Phil. He just died, too. And her family, like her dad's side of the family, is so, like, strong. Like, I want to just give them a big shout out, because this is something that I've never seen before. Like, he was in a hospital, and they made sure every sibling was at the hospital with him every fucking day. Like, amazing. He never spent a day alone. Like, him dying just really, it didn't make me as sad, because, you know, it just made me sad for the family, the siblings, because it's just like they are so strong and they were just there for him. And I just know like how it fucked them up and made them feel like that was their first, you know what I'm saying, brother that died out there 7, you feel me? Like, and it was just like, it's a beautiful thing to see. Like, and it's like, I hope my kids is like that, you feel me? Like, and I hope somebody is there for me like that. It's just like, to see that just is so, for them to be like so strong in there, like that shit was like crazy. So, you know,
here's a question. When do you go from mourning to celebrating their life? Because I know that in some cultures, it's more like the same thing. Like the funeral, I'm not even sure which cultures.
It's like right after the funeral.
But they'll like crazy ass party. And, you know, it's just they have a different take on it. Whereas I feel like if you were at your mom's funeral and then all of a sudden you're out in the club fucking popping bottles in America, people would be looking at you like, damn, that's maybe a little odd. But I know some cultures it's like more easy for them to just sort of celebrate the person's life. But that is the question, is when does the sadness turn into, I don't know, like you celebrating their life and you realizing that this was inevitable. You always knew this was going to happen. Everybody dies. This is just the cycle of life.
I think it depends on the situation.
Yeah,
because I just left the funeral. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. Miss Williams. She lived to see 100. You know what I mean? So we wasn't at her funeral like sad. We were sad, of course, that we lost her, but we was like, you made it. You made it in life.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody strives to make it to 100 years old. You know what I mean? It's a celebration, but
because when my uncle passed like a couple weeks ago, and it was like, I mean, he was in his 80s and he had Parkinson's for a couple years before he passed. So it's like it was the least sad funeral and the most like, we love this guy, we're sad to see him go, but we're all, you know, celebrating him. It was that vibe so much. It was not really that much of a sad vibe. And yes, people are cracking tears and everything like that, but at the same time, I mean, we got to see a version of him that nobody liked to see for a couple of years. This is one of the smartest guys I ever met in my whole life, and we got to see him reduced down to basically like a baby by the time he passed.
That's what I hate about cancer, bro. You know what I'm saying? You really watch somebody's body destroy them from the inside. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, God forbid I ever get it. I hope I don't ever get it, but you know, that's a lot to deal with on the regular too, and to see that and you know what I mean, just even to prepare for that. And I know like the whole time, this maybe like around Rolling Loud, house phone, and you know, he was caring for his mom, and you know, he was doing it himself. He didn't have no help. So a lot of times he's late and he's doing certain shit, and we, you know, everybody is like, oh, house phone is irresponsible. It's like, nah, nigga, he don't have nobody to take care of his mom, and he was doing that shit by himself. And you know, it just sucks because that was like, you know, one of his lifelines. You know what I mean? Like it's messed up.
And I think honestly, house phone's mom passing for him is kind of like a bigger deal than it would be for a lot of us. Not just because she was younger, but also because think about it, like. He's been living with his mom, like to take care of her and being around her and everything like that. But like, he probably hasn't had to do a lot of the things that you have to learn to do when you live on your own. You know, like I'm not saying that he like doesn't know how to pay the utilities and shit, because for all I know, he probably was doing that. But definitely gonna be like a lot of shit on his plate that he's probably hasn't had to really deal with as much in the past. You know?
He gonna have that battery behind.
Yeah, and every death is different. Because when my homie died, I turned into an atheist. I turned into the devil right after I left that.
Oh, it was
right
temporary.
after I left that funeral when they buried him. I turned into a whole nother motherfucker. I was fearless. I didn't give a fuck, and I was ready to die too.
How'd he pass?
He died in a car crash.
Oh.
He was one of the people that you feel like he shouldn't have died. And I was like, damn, God. I'm like, why would you take him?
I've been to that.
You know,
yeah, and I was like,
random.
and he on my hand now. This is my first tattoo, my first everything. I'm telling you, like, when I seen the casket go, and I said, oh, God, you know what? Ain't no God. I'm finna go crazy. And I went crazy for about 3 or 4 years. This is what Pun was talking about. He talking about, we was running the streets. Yeah, I was really not giving a fuck.
You were shooting for Pun?
Man, it was going
Don't
crazy.
say that.
You're not supposed to. He goes, man.
Look, it was going crazy. Like, bruh, I was doing some wild shit, you know, and then, you know, some shit calmed me down. But, you know, for about 3 or 4 years, I was on that path of destruction.
And that's kind of like I tell Duno, because I understand when Duno talks about like he won't leave his mom, I felt the same way. I told myself, I was like, I will not leave my grandma. I will leave Compton when my grandma leaves Compton. Like I didn't have no ambition to move out of the hood until my grandma passed away. I was like, there's nothing else left for me here.
Because for me,
you know what I mean?
When I was young.
All right, people, we just hit 300,000 subscribers. You know we're trying to hit 400,000 subscribers. So that little red button, tap it, tap in. We appreciate y'all.